10th Amendment to the United States Constitution states that powers not delegated to the federal government, nor prohibited to the states, are reserved to the states or the people. This amendment emphasizes the principle of federalism and is often cited in discussions about states' rights. In terms of how the 10th Amendment might be used against individuals by law enforcement or government entities, it's important to clarify a few points. State sovereignty. The 10th Amendment can protect states from federal overreach, which means that states can enact laws and regulations that reflect the will of their citizens. However, if a state law is in conflict with federal law, the Supremacy Clause, Article 6 of the Constitution, establishes that federal law prevails. This can lead to situations where individuals might feel that state actions, justified under 10th Amendment principles, adversely affect their rights. Limited federal authority. The 10th Amendment can limit the actions of the federal government. For example, if a federal agency attempts to enforce a regulation that intrudes upon state powers, states can argue that such action is unconstitutional. This can be seen as protective for states, but it might also restrict certain individual rights if a state decides to exercise powers in ways that may not align with federal protections, like civil rights laws. Local law enforcement. In practical terms, local and state law enforcement operate under state laws and regulations. If a state law allows certain practices that might be challenged under federal law, this could lead to enforcement actions that some individuals may perceive as oppressive or unjust. The 10th Amendment might be cited by state authorities to justify their actions, but whether those actions are ultimately lawful can depend on various factors, including court interpretations. Litigation and legal challenges. Individuals might use the 10th Amendment in court to challenge the constitutionality of laws or actions they believe overstep federal authority. This can sometimes lead to legal battles over rights and the scope of government power. In summary, while the 10th Amendment itself is a protective measure for states and individuals against federal overreach, its application can be complex and context-dependent. It can potentially be invoked in ways that might be seen as detrimental to individual rights, depending on the specific circumstances and the legal landscape at the time.